Yo, what up? Hey, reporting again live from Mama's basement. I know y'all about sick of us today. We just we just keep going in. Hey, well, this one right here, this is for the vets. You know what I mean? Look, I'm a former Marine. My brother here is a former Marine as well. And we just want to shout out all the veterans who served the country, served honorably, and those that are still serving today. You know what I mean? You know what I was thinking about. You know, you and I went in at the peak of the Iraq War, right? Right after 9/11. And I was thinking about how difficult it was to readjust to the civilian life.
Still an adjustment.
You know what I mean?
Very much so, still an adjustment. You know, when you have order, it's very hard to get back into something that's chaos and opinionated and things of that nature. And it really was the disregard to what people really did out there that bothered me the most when I got out, and in not having that camaraderie that I had when we was in the Corps. You know, you always had somebody that you can go to, you can talk to about it, you know, and getting out and realizing, you know, that you're kind of on your own now. You got to figure this out.
Yeah, it almost feel like people don't care.
Don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, pardon my language, but fuck you and fuck your service, and fuck what you experienced while you were there. I mean, because it's like civilians were here just living their life, and it was just another thing on the news for them. You know what I mean? Like you said, disregarding those of us that had boots on ground, especially you. Yeah, I mean, the whole time you were there, you had boots on ground, and we're dealing with combat situations and life-threatening situations, real life situations that, you know, a lot of people don't even think about if it's not talked about on the news. And when we come back and we try to work, I feel like a lot of that's just brushed off and it's not even understood, or there's no empathy, traumas that we experience. Right. You know what I mean? I say all the time, bro, you got to be a crazy person to kill somebody or be involved in the death of people and it doesn't impact you in a negative way. You know what I mean? So if you can walk around after serving over there and contributing to war, 'cause that's what it is. Let's be real. War is about casualty. People die. Children die. Civilians die. Women die. Right? Soldiers die. Friends die. Right? And if you can come back home and still be cool and normal, like you didn't do nothing, you really didn't see nothing, those people are crazy as hell. You know what I mean? Any normal, rational person are going to suffer some effects from that.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
And I'll give you an example. RP Big Nail, one of the Marines I got to serve with. We were both boots together. Boots mean we were junior Marines. We did our first deployment together. He actually was one of the few white Marines that went out with us just to get that experience of what we do when we go out, or whatever the case may be. Real cool guy. But when he got out, he fell into real deep depression and drugs. And one of my other Marines reached out to me, the guy from one of the other videos we posted earlier, who I said ended up changing how he aspect. He reached out to me. It was like, yo, you need to talk to him because something's getting wrong with him. So, you know, I started out first Facebook and just having generalized conversation before I got in deep with him about what was going on. And I conversated with him maybe like 2-3 times a month just to check on him because he was just out here doing the most. And I actually talked to him about 4 hours before he committed suicide.
Wow.
And I felt bad because, you know, we always try to help, you know what I'm saying, each other out and things of that nature. Happened about 1.5 years ago. You know, he called out and I talked to him and he called me back, but I was busy at the time, so I didn't pick up the phone call or whatever the case may be. So we had a pretty good conversation. I didn't even think in my mind that he would even do that. And then, you know, when I got the call or whatever from the same person I was talking about earlier, that shit hit me hard. And then another Marine that I really served like with, you know what I'm saying? That was my ace boom coon, my homeboy Bert, ended up committing suicide as well in the same year. And I was just like, you know, that's why I always tell guys, you know, even on my Facebook, if you've been on my Facebook pages before, I'll be out there wild, and I always tell them, if you need somebody to talk to, call me. I don't care what time it is, whatever the case may be. If I miss your calls only because I didn't see it, and once I see the number, I'm definitely going to call you back. Give me time to talk to you, because it can't be worse than taking yourself off this world.
Yeah, hey, and we had a Marine commit suicide when I was in Al-Assad, Iraq. Not not from our unit, but it actually was a Marine I was in boot camp with. It was I was a squad leader, as a matter of fact. You know, I never discuss names or anything, you know, but when he said friends die, you know, while you're in that environment, you kind of have to pretend like
it didn't happen,
right? You got to just keep going the next day, and it's business as usual. And a lot of times we don't have time to process these situations. You know, it's rough, bro. And vets, you're not alone. You are not. It's millions of us, thousands of us out here that have similar experiences. Some a little bit more worse than others, and I would say find someone to talk to. You know, when I'm having a hard time about things, I talk to my brother right here all the time. Some nights I don't sleep. You know, I call my brother up, you know, and we chat about whatever, you know. But you got to have, in the Army they call them what, battle buddies?
Battle buddies.
You got to have a battle buddy or something that you can call to talk to, right? And also you got resources too. They have veteran hotlines, right?
Suicide hotline.
Mm-hmm.
You got the VA. Whether you get a percentage or not, when it comes to your mental health, they're always going to see you. You know, you got churches, you got pastors, you got a lot of resources. You got and not only that, always stay in touch with your crew. You know what I mean by crew. When you was in, you had a set of friends that you vibe with, that you laugh with, that you cried with.
Ours was the Fab Five. Yeah, boot camp.
Me, you, Soto, Rello.
Pretty much, we was the crew of fuck ups. Yeah, man. Well, you know, if you've been to Marine Corps boot camp, you know it's like being a damn POW. You know what I mean? So you find any little piece of happiness you can. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, stay in touch with your crew. Communicate.
We got to do this a drill. Y'all gonna watch the weapons aside.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah, man. Yeah, all that's important, and not only for vets, also service members that's actively serving.
Yeah.
My boy's nephew committed suicide recently this year, going through some things in his marriage, right? And maybe that could have been prevented if he came across a video like this, you know, where he had somebody to interact with, or he can build a community of other service members or veterans that have gone through or is going through the same thing. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of service members, when they're going through stuff, the first thing they do is they isolate themselves. you know, because it's less stressful if I'm only dealing with me, and when I'm going through stuff, rather than me and whatever else is going on in life with other people that you're around. And in reality, you can't do that. It sounds good to do, but you can't do that because nobody can fix themselves without a little bit of assistance. Because what's going wrong with you, if you could fix it, it would have never went wrong in the first place.
Facts. Talk to somebody. I can't. I know I keep saying it. I can't stress that enough. talk to somebody, right? It never goes away.
You can't see somebody walking and talking to you 1 hour, and then 2 hours to walking and talking with you 2 hours later, to walking and joking and everything like that, and the next thing you know, they got burnt to a crisp by a BBID, or they got blown up to the point where you bringing them back on base in bags, you know, because the body parts went everywhere. The things that we see, a lot of people couldn't fathom. That go like the only way to describe it is you've seen it in a movie.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
In the moment, it doesn't even feel real.
You know, and then not only that, but it breaks yourself out of it and then continue doing what you had to do, because that's not the mission. The mission is accomplishment. So I can't even, or not me, but everybody who served can't dwell. You don't get to dwell. You don't get to grieve. You know, and that was the hardest part. Playing spades with somebody one night, then they come back the next morning from a convoy, and he got blown up last night. He ain't make it. Or talking to the, you know, because in the Marine Corps, there ain't a lot of females out there on deployments with us. So you find a set of them, and y'all chilling just to have the
camaraderie.
The camaraderie, but not only that, but just to be around a female. You ain't doing nothing with them. Y'all just sitting joking, because you're around the fellas pretty much most of the time. So you don't get to see them, but maybe like 45 minutes, but they become like this with you. And then they get blown up to the point where we got to figure out who they are by their hair color, because you can no longer identify the body. It's a lot of things that you think people are walking around with, and you think that they're good, and they're not good. Yeah. You know, and the worst thing that our society do is label us crazy. You know,
that's the wrong thing to do.
Huh?
That's the wrong thing to do.
Very wrong thing to do is when you label somebody crazy, the first thing you do is you pretty much you're riding them off. You know, and people ain't crazy. They're just going through stuff. It's stuff that you couldn't fathom, so you disregard it. When you really should be talking to these people and figuring out what's going on with them. Seeing if they have a network of friends. Seeing you might be the only person they talk to in the last 3-4 months.
Yeah, you could be saving their life.
Invite them over for dinner one night. You know, show them that there's still humanity in the world, because a lot of us lose our humanity overseas. You know, we that sympathy and things of that nature, we don't believe the world has it. And so it's very good. It's very good just to say what's up. You know, what's going on, you know, and things of that nature. And I found in the Black society, we don't do that enough. You know, most of the times where you get thanks for your service, things of that nature, it comes from the other majority or other demographics outside of your own race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bothersome to me, because regardless of how bad we think America is, it's way better than a lot of stuff that's going on in the world.
100%. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't want to live in another country outside of America, to be honest with you. Maybe Japan. That's for other reasons.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But
yeah, reach out, man. You could be saving a life, especially if you're a veteran yourself. You could relate to some of the things that they may be experiencing, right? And hopefully, you guys can find some solace in watching our channel and just get entertained. Everything we do, don't take all this crap serious. This is all for entertaining purposes. Besides videos like this is real, right? But other stuff is, we talking trash and trying to find something to laugh about. For entertainment. Sit back, let this be an outlet for you. Get active in those comments and join our community, all right? Because we're two vets too. At the end of the day, I want to stress again: if you're going through some problems, call somebody, right? And that job is not more important than your mental sanity.
You mental health. You don't feel call a friend. Call me.
Yeah,
I listen to you.
Yeah, real talk.
I talk a lot. Everybody says I talk like if I fucks with you.
Yeah, you talk a lot.
Yeah. If I fucks with you, I talk a lot. So like I get on the phone with you and talk to you for hours. If I feel like that's what is needed for you to still live here, to still be living, still be breathing, and not only that, you have somebody that can actually relate. And not only that, give you things that I may have done to help myself cope. You might not be what you need to cope, but if you start using your brain to find different ways to help you out or whatever. That's how I learned how to deal with a lot of the stuff I've seen and a lot of things I've done out there. It was talking to older veterans who were in Vietnam and Beirut and things of that nature at the VA, sitting down there talking to them, and then not only that, they're giving me pointers, but they're also giving me outlets to things that I can use to help myself. A lot of people don't like talking in groups. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't really. I'm talking about some of the stuff I've seen very vaguely because it might help somebody. Because a lot of people feel like you ain't do what the hell I did out here. You don't know what I did out here. How can you relate to this? Trust me. I can relate.
Yeah, real talk.
And it's about helping I look at all veterans like their brothers. The good ones and the bad ones, because without y'all, I wouldn't be here. My brothers made sure I was good out there, so at least make sure that we good out and we make it back. That's still be the only place where we should have felt like that, to be back here and feel certain type of things that we feel, and not only that, from the community, the media, things like that. You start to really believe some of the stuff that you hear, and nothing's wrong with you. You just need to get help.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Take a mental health day. Take off work. Trust me, that job will be there when you get back. And if you don't, somebody else will fill that position for you after you're dead and gone.
And it may not get better immediately, but it will get better in time. Nothing that you went through is going to be harder than what you had to experience. So if that's the case, then you can always get better.
Yeah, you know what? And that goes for our contractors too.
Yeah.
That's never actually served in the military, but they served in combat zones as a contractor. So, some of those people experience some wild things. But lock in with us. You know what I mean? We here. Let's interact, build our community, and find something to laugh about.
If you're really going through something, please do not, and I repeat this, please do not use drugs and alcohol as a way to cope, because it's only going to make things worse until you get yourself, because now you're polluting your mind. And then how can you think clearly with a polluted mind and you going through stuff? You got to find other ways to cope. I used alcohol to go to sleep when I was in the Marine Corps. I didn't want to drink. It's only a scapegoat. You're running away from your problems if you do that. Sometimes you gotta face it. You gotta do exactly what you had to do in the military. Face it head up, whatever the consequences are, deal with them, and then move on from there, and make sure that you're living better for the future. Can't change the past. All you think you do is make sure that you're living right for the future.
100%. It's a great way to wrap it up. Hey, we out of here. One time for the vets. Peace.